We are back here on Girl Talk. Guess who's here? My friend Sean, Custom Audio Video. It is so good to see you.
It's good to see you. I feel like it's been a while.
I know, it really does. I think Ian came last time and we had a good time.
Good.
But I'm glad to kind of come back and chat with you. So how has the pandemic and just changing times in 2020 impacted you all at Custom Audio Video?
Yeah, so I mean, we're like everybody. We've had to kind of pivot the way that we do things. Because we're seeing a lot of change in people's needs. I think as individuals, we're all seeing different needs in our lives, and we're trying to take advantage of that to help our clients as much as possible.
It's really interesting to me, and I hear a plane overhead too. We got planes and chickens and goats and all kinds of things. But one of the things that I've noticed is my increased reliance on all of my technology. Are you seeing people coming in and saying, okay, we hear you now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I said early on to some friends, like, hey, 2020 seems pretty rough right now, but it's a great year to have it because we have so much technology in our lives that allow us to do things remotely, allow us to entertain ourselves at home in different ways.
Yes.
So it's been very helpful. And we've seen with networking and stuff in people's homes that they need better networks to connect to the world from their home.
And one of the things that you shared that you thought would be fun to talk about today is the way that business is conducting business these days.
Right.
Share with me a little bit about what that shift looks like for you all.
Yeah, so we're looking kind of going into the future. Everybody's going to try to operate a little differently, at least, particularly remotely. I think we're starting to see more businesses going back to work.
Okay.
So we have maybe, like, take Custom Audio Video. We may be in the shop, in our store, but we need to work with another business.
Oh,
well, do we always go over and have that face-to-face contact? Or can we do it remotely? So we have a conference room set up where we can have those kind of meetings remotely. And we're seeing more and more businesses that want that kind of solution.
Talk to me about what that would look like. Because it's funny, because I'm sitting here thinking individual Zooming kind of thing, but you're talking about something very different.
A little different, but just on a different scale. I always say there's three things that are really necessary to it.
Okay.
So there's good audio and video, both in and out.
Okay.
Right? So you want somebody on the other side to be able to hear you, so a good microphone, but you also want to be able to hear them well.
Okay.
And then some sort of screen and camera combination to be able to see each other.
Okay.
Just like Zoom.
Okay.
And then you want connectivity.
Wait, what'd you say?
Connectivity. So very easy for you to connect to Zoom or Microsoft Teams.
Connectivity. Okay, I was like, what is that? Okay.
GoToMeeting. There's a lot of different programs out there that different people use for different reasons. So being able to connect to all of them.
So you were talking about setting up almost a virtual conference room. What would that look like for most, or for, well, I guess for business, a bigger business, and then for more of an independent contractor?
Yeah, so it's actually just kind of a business-sized version of what you have at home for Zoom.
Okay.
Some sort of computer internet connection.
Okay.
And then a camera and a microphone. Of course, if you're doing it for business, you want it to look a little bit more professional.
Okay.
Because your business matters to you.
Yes.
So we want your business to look like it matters to everybody else as well. So taking it seriously and making it something that is a priority.
So let's say you are doing a business conference. Would you all go into a conference room and have a bigger screen, or have, right now when I think of a Zoom call, I'm on, a tablet, for heaven's sakes. And now I'm thinking, gosh, it would be great to be able to do conferences on bigger screens.
Yeah, the screen size really has to do with, the room size, but then also how many people are going to be in a meeting at once.
Okay.
So for instance, sometimes we'll have somebody on the other side of the screen, and then there's 6 of us sitting around a conference table. Well, you need a bigger screen because we're going to be sitting away from it.
Okay, that makes sense.
And we want to be able to see it.
Okay.
Then we have a camera set up so that they can see all of us.
Okay.
So it just really depends on how many people, who's going to be involved, really the specifics of the company situation.
How technologically savvy do I need to be to manage these kinds of new business opportunities?
Not that tech savvy at all. I mean, it's
I
pretty
want to hug
simple.
him for that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Particularly, if you're going to be working with somebody like us,
Okay.
we have a designer who is trained to help train you on those things. Part of our whole business model, whether it's this or anything else that we do, is making sure that at the end of it, the client feels comfortable using what they've gotten from
Well,
us.
that makes sense to me, because if I go to the trouble of doing this and getting it, these wonderful systems in place, I definitely need to be able to handle it. You've shared with me on multiple occasions that it's a lot more technology user-friendly world than even 5 years ago.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think there's been a big focus across the board on improving user interface, right? And the end user, whoever's got it, right? If you have an iPhone, you're the end user of that.
Got it, okay.
Making it very simple to use, very easy to use, and very intuitive. And we're seeing that certain trends are rising to the top.
Such
right?
as?
Well, take an iPhone, for instance.
Okay.
The way that it moves and operates has become such a cultural norm that you're starting to see it in other things.
Oh, interesting.
Because people realize, hey, what they're doing is good.
Okay.
Take pinch and zoom, for instance, right?
Yes.
Somebody started with that process and it kind of became the easy way. Now, if you pick up a device and you try to do it and it doesn't pinch and zoom, it feels weird.
What's fun for me is I didn't even know there was a word for that.
Yeah.
Pinch and zoom. Okay,
yeah.
this
So
is
people
good.
are kind of adopting these, I would say, norms, these trends in the user interface that we're seeing more and more, because across the board, everybody wants their tech to be easy to use, because you want to remove that hurdle, right? Nobody wants to get something and go, it's hard to use. It works, but it's hard to use.
I swear the next time we talk, I'm going to have you share with us sort of the language of technology. I think that could be really interesting.
Yeah.
It's always a treat to have you, Sean. You're wonderful. You're so
Thank
informative, and you're user-friendly. Thank you for joining us. Thank you all for joining us here on Girl Talk. Please have a safe and healthy week. Bye-bye.